I'm sorry, I am muted, so let's try that again, shall we? That was an epic fail. So let's try that again. So, my name is Optopolis. Welcome back to the channel where we explore where no one else has explored before. For those that are new here, we do cover all kinds of retail content in the states of Wyoming, Colorado, and Nebraska. And today I am going to be giving you guys an update on the channel and where things are at. A lot has happened over the last few months that's very important that we discuss. So, yeah. Yeah, I should be unmuted now. I realize the chat's probably behind a little bit, but that's okay. Let's see. Are you serious? Let's see. Let's do this. Okay, I think we're back. I think we're all good. Golly. Yep. Yep, we're good. Oh my goodness. Chat's going crazy. Hey Parker. Hey Dalmatian. Hey Brian. Did I say Parker? Hey Real RTOT. Hey GRM. Hey Tyler Seitz. Hey Jason Keller. Yeah, so hey Texas Danger. Yeah, of course, it would be the first stream I do in months now that we mess up like that, right? Oh golly. Hey Joshua. Oh my goodness, the chat's actually going crazy. I didn't know what to expect with this stream, honestly. Oh, well. Oh, golly. So, of course, before digging into the stream, I do want to ask you guys for questions for a Q&A that I want to include in the Christmas stream. If I get enough questions, then I'll include the part for sure. Probably will try to figure out a way of working in there anyway. But we will be doing a Christmas special stream. I didn't grab the mail, so I don't know if the things for the giveaway came through. I'll have to make sure it should be here tomorrow, if not today. I can't remember. I saw a package, but I didn't have a chance to get it. I had to get the stream set up, so, you know, is what it is. Life as usual. But, of course, definitely give me your guys' Q&As. We'll go in more in depth a little bit about that later in the stream. It can be anything, though, for retail or me or anything you really want. Of course, mistakes. Wow, my words are in a stumble there. Wow, this stream is terrible. All right, so we will be covering mistakes that affected the channel, though, over the last few months. Initially, there was quite a few smaller mistakes that I had made that weren't too big of an issue by themselves. Together, yeah, they're clumpful, but by themselves they were small, so I didn't think they needed to be shared too much. But now I probably need to share them because they kind of are a big thing. And there's the bigger one, of course, with my shoulder that we will be talking about today as well. I know that a lot of people have been wondering more about that since I put posts out about it across all my social media. Gonna split this stream into several parts. There's gonna be 4 parts. The first part is gonna be all of the initial craziness that happened. Part 2 will be the crash. Part 3 will be healing after the crash, so where I'm at now in the shoulder with mobility and whatnot. And then part 4 will be where things are headed among quite a few things, including the 2K special, also the streams and the videos. There's I feel pretty confident about the next few months, but it's definitely been hectic for trying to get all those uploaded and everything. I will read the chat between each part. During each part, I'll probably focus on the content, since obviously that's why you are here. But I will talk to you guys in the between each part. So we'll see how long this lasts. I don't know if this will be 10 minutes or an hour. I don't know. Yeah, I'm struggling. This is my first stream, GRM. Come on. This is my first stream since I crashed. Actually, before I crashed. Quite a while back, in fact. In fact, I don't think I streamed... No, I don't think I've streamed it since August. So it's been crazy, man. Oh, wow. Lots of chats. Golly. Hopefully everyone is having a good day, though. It is December now, so it's a brand new month. Of course, actually not really. It's the 20th. It's almost over. What am I talking about? But we do got Christmas coming up. Better period, perhaps, for a lot of people, including myself usually. So, definitely good time to be around, I guess, right? Starts live stream to spy. What are you going on about there, GRM? Which chases make you happiest? Right now, it's this one that appeared in my clothing stream, my merch stream. I've been doing good lately overall, but there's been a lot of things this year that, in my opinion, have made this year worse than previous years. So we'll do the best we can. It's not my worst year, I don't think, but it's definitely one of the lower end of the years that I don't care for. Definitely going through a bit of a dip this year. Alright, so we're going to go and get into part one. So there's 4 major mistakes. Yeah, 4 major mistakes I identified leading up to more recently. A lot of them started happening around June to July. So I hit 1.5 thousand subscribers in mid-May. I was planning to do a mall video as part 2 of the special. Unfortunately, things kind of just fell apart with that. So, among them at first mistake, what ifs, right? So I was letting what ifs in my head of what if this happens or what if that happens. And, you know, when you let that stuff get into your head, it messes with you a little bit. It does. Most of the time, the what ifs, not really worth worrying about. I mean, there are certainly risks that you gotta be careful of, but like what ifs are just kind of like unlikely scenarios that aren't that likely of happening, but they come to mind anyway, and they end up making you think it's way worse than it actually is. So that kind of messed up. There's also other issues too, because I actually had done a mall video at 500 subscribers. That was my 500th sub special, technically, a mall video, because you know, that's what I promised back then, but unfortunately that video fell apart terribly. It was a mess, and I had to slam it together last minute. Yeah, I don't want to do that again. So that's the other part. I've been trying to not slam it together, but in the process of doing that, it's kind of just slowly been less and less and less until by the end of July I hadn't done anything in a month. So yeah, we need to get back onto that eventually. Eventually it will come. It's just not going to be quite the way I had planned for the 1.5k sub special, and I know that's a while back now. That was months ago. But should not have let them bother me for sure. Unfortunately, I do slip in over time. That combined with my distaste and bad video postponed the mall video, of course, and that was what led me to not doing better about getting videos in July. When I really should have been trying to get more videos. Just kind of fell apart. Kind of did. So, I mean, I do need to shift away from that. Overall, I feel like I have, but it's taken some time to get there. That by itself is a very small issue that did not bother me too much. But because of all the other things that added on top of that, that messed things up quite a bit more. So let's see. Are we... Oh, okay, let's do this. I need to switch to here. There we go. Great job on the Spirit Halloween video, says Joshua. I appreciate it. Yeah, so that's one thing that we need to talk about, too, a little bit. We'll get there. So mistake number 2 was the analytics getting into my head. So for those of you that don't know, let's see. I need to go here, and let's see. Here. So for those of you that don't know, you can, when you go into your YouTube studio, you can see analytics off the bat. So like right there, you have an analytics tab. Why is this thing being finicky? We got another analytics thing here. If I transition, you can see on the dashboard of the studio, you're immediately plunged with analytics. Most of the analytics on this screen are not that beneficial. They really are not. But they are there anyway, so you're forced into seeing them. And back then, July, my analytics had been going way down. I was going into a deep dip. And unfortunately, that messed with my head a little bit more. Kind of discouraged me a little bit more. In a way, it makes sense this year that was lower than usual at this time because of not uploading as much. But that on top of other little details in my life at the time, it messed with me even more and just it made it harder to get out and go film more videos. Of course, this is something that happens to all creators eventually. The analytics or this or that or the other thing eventually do get to the head. It just happens. But, you know, it finally hit me. Took 2 years of doing retail for it to hit me again, but it hit me, and that's what happened. So, it definitely discouraged the uploading a little more so than 2020 having the analytics be down. Like, there is a point where I was down to less than 15 subs in a month. Like that's rare for me. That is literally rare for me. Like, even as a gamer, I think I was gaining like 20 subs a month and at the minimum. So, very low compared to what we are now. Now I think we're at like 30 plus a month. So, we're getting back up to the normal. Granted, again, analytics are not my main thing. I do think quality always will trump quantity. But unfortunately, the quantity is still an aspect that's there that can help you make quality decisions. Yeah. So, you know, what can you do? I'll switch that back off so that way you can see my face and transition. And back over here. So, had this mistake been by itself, I think things would have gotten back to normal pretty quickly. But this being piled on top of it, mistake 1 definitely affected me more. And we're going to jump into mistake 3, which was, for all intents and purposes, patching our roof. I want to go into this too much because it's overall a very personal topic that doesn't really apply to the channel, but it did cause a reduced upload rate. So we did some patchwork to try and take care of some of the leakage that's happening that's gonna still need to get fully repaired the next year. And honestly, the project was overall very, very time consuming and very, very physically consuming and mentally consuming. There is not a lot of extra time for me to do anything with videos. So I didn't have any backlogs. So it wasn't like I could just wake up early, come upstairs and, you know, do my video. I don't have any backlogs. I would have to go out and film a video, which I didn't really have time to do that, let alone edit a video. It was a lot of work. Most of the days it was most time that I was awake in the afternoon to evening hours of working on the patching. Yeah, it was just hectic, to say the least. So most days after, like, especially after getting into it, most days I was not able to do anything more. Like, I was so mentally exhausted, there's no way I was going to be able to do anything in the evenings. So it basically resulted in me not doing anything for a chunk of time, actually. Let me see if I got a scene here. I do not have a screenshot of what I was hoping. Darn it. So bottom line, though, I went a whole month, over a month, in fact, without uploading or streaming because of all the time that's being taken by that. I think it was like August 7th when the last time was that I did stuff, so it was pretty crazy. So that definitely affected me, and we also had one other little issue that came up. So let's transition to there. What do we got here? So we actually did, I should be putting my screenshots up, I keep forgetting. So in the more recently, after all the roofing stuff was done, I had 3 different personal people that I have good connections, shall we say, with, who end up dying, unfortunately. I don't want, this is another really personal topic, but that further just degraded my mental health. It happened in just a little over a month. 3 people. 1 person died by a deadly car crash, 2 others by natural causes. 3 deaths nonetheless. It was not a fun month for me, to say the least. It was, I think the last one was when I was starting to get back into videos in October, and I was still struggling a little bit with my mental stay at that point, but by the end of the month, I had honestly gotten a lot better. So I had actually started getting pretty close to back what I would consider normal by the end of the month. Unfortunately, that's where things went wrong, and that's going to be part 2, so I'm going to now do what I promised and go to speak to chat and chat with you guys for a couple minutes. So I saw more people in the chat. Let me scroll up a little bit. Parker Taylor says, Happy New Year, almost the New Year. We're getting there, it's coming. Your last live stream was back in September. Yeah, I guess we did do one in September, didn't we? Did we? I can't remember now. Let's see. Let me see. Let me go to studio.youtube.com. And I'm going to pop open here. Let me look in here. I can't remember. I want to look and see for myself. So the last live stream I did was on September 6th, and that was the only one since August 12th. So we had still gone over a month without streaming. And after the September 6th stream is where things just got really busy. So like September through October was mostly spent filming videos. I was going out very often, as in once to twice per week, to make sure I had a backlog built up and to get spirit videos. I technically probably could have way exceeded my goal of 6 spirit videos. I had a goal of getting 6 spirit videos this year. I probably could have actually done like 7 or 8, but because of the time, it didn't make sense. Like, it would already have been a good 2 weeks after that I would still be uploading spirit videos with just the videos that I had that are uploaded to the channel right now of this year. Unfortunately, when we get into Mistake 5, that's where things really go south, and I'll go into that a little bit more later. Let's see. What else? Y'all are both noobs. It's been a year for me. I should be GRM's best man! Oh, golly. Imagine collaborations happening. That would be a fun thing to do. I need to see if I can work things out this year. We'll see. I need to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about that specifically. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to talk about that specifically. No one knows. It's fine. But I do need to talk a little bit about where we're at for a little bit on the monetary side. Can I be my... What the heck, right? I'm catching up on chat. So what you guys see on screen will not sync with what I'm saying. Don't let... Yeah, exactly. You shouldn't let stuff in your head, but eventually it's bound to. What can you do? Trace Margaritas in Boulder was repainted white. Really? Wow. I haven't been out to Boulder in a little while. Actually, I take that back. I have been out to Boulder one time, but I didn't get anywhere near that Trace Margarita, so I didn't have a chance to see it. When will the Longmont Safeway video come out? It'll be sometime early next year. It's one of the ones in my backlog that I will be dropping. There's quite a few in my backlog. I got like 9 videos or something like that, so plenty to last a good couple of months or so. Draven, go to Kmart 6 hours away Monday. It's not 6 hours away, bro. It's 12 hours one way. Oh, golly. Oh, good stuff. I don't know if you guys hear it, but I think the dog next door is barking. That's fun. It's 12 hours to go to the nearest Kmart to me, though. That's up in Montana. That's up north. Hamilton, Montana. It's the last Kmart with a retro signage and the last one in the Mountain Time Zone. In the Loveland video, I specifically said that I was not going to be able to get to any more Kmarts. That has maybe changed a little bit, but I don't know for certain. By the way, hey Funko Sean, I forgot to mention your name. I'm not for certain at this point. It's a possibility. Again, that's something we'll talk about later in this stream. Yeah, it's been crazy for real, man. Hey, Natalie Qualina? Hopefully I'm not butchering that name. I'm probably butchering it. I'm always terrible with names, man. I try to remember as many as I can and remember how to pronounce them, but at the end of the day, it's just hard for me to remember all of them. But Natalie asks, what is your real name? So honestly, that's a simple question. I'll answer it now, but I'll probably include it in the Christmas stream as well, because it's a very commonly asked question. I have shared it publicly. I just don't promote it a lot, and which means my real name is Draven Star. Hey VW Oklahoma, how are you doing? First time to watch your live streams on my new computer. That's awesome, Joshua. That is awesome. All right, so I think we're pretty much caught up on chat, so we're going to go ahead and jump on to part 5. So this is where things get hectic, to say the least. Let's see. Let me go into Scooter. There we go. All right, so back in October, was it? Yeah, October, because that's when Halloween is. So it was the 30th of October, in fact. I went out to film some more videos. I had plans of recording 2 to 3 videos. Definitely could have gotten 2, maybe 3. It would have been close with the sun down. I don't know yet. I don't know. I didn't know at the time yet if I was going to be able to do those 3 videos. So there is a little bit of stress to get them done, because as you know, in the winter, the days are shorter in places like Wyoming. It's a lot shorter. The sun goes down around 6 at the time, and right now, it goes down about 4:30. So it goes down way earlier than usual. Usually it would be up till like 7 to 9, somewhere in there in the summer. So there is a little bit of stress there. Let me scroll down in my list so that way I don't miss anything here. Something I want to back up before I say this part. So somehow I was able to move through October with all that other mistakes I made, including the deaths and everything. I somehow just was managing to grind it out, just say, head down, I'm going to do it, get it done. Because I have actually gone out of town in the winter in the past, and one time I actually got stuck out of town, and I had to stay overnight. And while it was an adventure, I don't want to repeat that adventure. So that's one of the many reasons why I like getting a backlog for the winter. Besides just not really caring for the cold in general. It's doable to do it, so if I have to do it, I'll do it, but usually I don't go for videos in the winter. But again, with the recent mistakes, my mental state still a mess. And by the 30th, when I had gone out to Colorado, I'm not going to name the exact city for now, that I went to, you'll be able to probably figure out with one of the videos I filmed, but that's besides the point. So by the time when I was going out there, I was starting to feel like, okay, I think I'm getting better. I'm feeling good. Let's get these videos. And the painful mistake, man. This is part 2. So mistake 5 was getting on a scooter, e-scooter specifically, instead of walking. So I had gone out to film more videos, as I mentioned. I filmed one video of the day. The first video of the day I had actually posted on my Instagram. So let me do this. I'm going to switch out studio mode so that way it makes it easier just to click through these. Let's see.
Trying out some lime.
Oh, that's not what I wanted. Where's my black screen? We'll have to do this.
Trying out some lime.
I meant to blur stuff, but
got
that's
one
okay.
video done.
Oh well.
Gonna get at least 1, maybe 2 more. Let's go.
So, yeah. As you saw in that shot, if I turn off the black screen and the story here. As you saw in that shot, I was on an e-scooter. I had grabbed an e-scooter because of the timing. It didn't make sense for me to wait for a ride. By the time I would have gotten a ride, I would have been almost to the next location I needed to film if I had walked. And I definitely would have arrived there before we could have gotten there with a ride. So I was like, all right, well, what's the next best way to get there quicker? Because I know the sun's going down. I decided to hop on a scooter, e-scooter, and in the process, unfortunately, that was not a good choice. So the first couple of blocks, I'll show this on a map. Let's see, why is this not showing? So we got a map here. You can see a bunch of different things. Let me grab my pointer. So I had filmed a video at this location here with the big old camera. Finished it. Came over here to this street here where there was a scooter just chilling. Went on the pathway down this way over to this intersection. That was all good. And right here where I stopped, that's where I got that story that you just saw, where I said trying out some lime, etc. Across the street, went up here, and this right here where this little emoji is, that's where things went horribly wrong. So let me switch to the other map. Where'd it go? This it? No, that's not it. Where's my little map? There's my little map. I like my little map. Go away, large map. There we go. So right here is the street closer up. You can see that I have myself sitting here. Basically, I had been freaked out by all of the let me mute this for a minute. I had been wow, look at that emoji. All right, there we go. So I had been freaked out by the traffic. So as you can see from that road, that's not a road actually. That's a strode. That's a street and a road combined. That's what a strode is. So it has multiple lanes like a street, but it is straight and simple like a road. It's meant to be driven on slower like a road, so it's a strode. Common term if you watch any of the people who talk about bicycling, etc. in various areas, including US, Canada, and Sweden, and among other places. So I had made the decision to go onto that bike lane because the the sidewalk along the edge did not make sense. It was too narrow, clearly not indicated for scooters or bikes, so it was the next best choice. Unfortunately, that's a strode, so there's traffic coming on me on the left side. There's gravel and stuff on the road in front of me. You know, there's all sorts of debris, so it was freaking me out. It's getting me stressed out. So at that point that I made a conscious decision that any driver, like when you learn how to drive, it's something that you kind of are supposed to learn, that when you're in that stress point, you should just pull off the road, relax, take a deep breath. So that's what I was doing. I went onto that driveway that you saw right here. I was looking for a driveway ramp or something I could get up on the sidewalk and pull off the road. And instead of going off on here, in hindsight, after a lot of thought about it, I think I went right here where it ramps down. So I had actually hit the curb, and that had caused me to fly. Let me turn the driveway off. So that had caused me to fly over the scooter handlebars, crashing and landing on the ground really hard. It was like slow-mo, to say the least. Hey, Daniel L. I'll look at the chat more in a few. So that had caused me, I crashed. I landed on my arms, like my arms were already out in front of me like this because of being on scooter. So I just moved them up, put them in front of my face, landed flat on the ground, feet spread out and everything, straight ahead. And it's on some dirty surface. It was gravelly, dirty, sort of, but I don't remember exactly. I'd have to look at the picture again because honestly, that was an instant, man. Let's see, where was I though? In my list. So again, on this day, according to the sources I looked at, the sun sets by 5:59. The camera I have, which I do not have access, I don't know, it's in my bucket, but I'm not going to dig it out. But the camera I have is a little point and shoot camera. It does not do good at low light, so I have to get done in the daylight. When it's sunset, officially, like the sun is set, it's too late. The time it was for, and I keep it in mind in time that I need for filming videos, I would probably have been able to get 2 more videos that day, but it would have been close. So it's like, I want to get to the next location as quick as possible, right? What can you do, though? So I ended up crashing. I had a bad gut feeling. I had a lot of bad gut feelings, honestly, leading up to that. So, like, initially, the app was bugging out when I had first scanned to get on the scooter. And then after that, I hit a couple of little bumps in the sidewalk that were noticeable, and it's like, I don't know if I like this, but you know what? It's okay. I'm okay. This is fine. I went over worse when I did it here in Cheyenne. Did a scooter, but it's whatever. So I kept going, and that's when I crashed. That was a little bit after 4 p.m. It's about quarter after. I went over to a nearby business. Let's see if I can get my map back open. And sorry for the emoji being here. I'm sorry, I didn't realize I didn't move off the screen yet. There we go. So there's a business right here that I end up going to basically recuperate. So I hopped back on scooter. Scooter was fine, honestly. Like, scooter was like working like normal. So I was like, no big deal. I was the main issue at hand. So I hopped on scooter, rode over to where I could stop, hopped off, went into that that building, and pretty much just relaxed for a while. By the time I had gotten in there, I was actually feeling pretty like I could pass out almost. Like, I was definitely feeling faintish and pale. So I relaxed in there for a while until I was able to stand up finally and fairly comfortably. And then after that, that was the end of the day for me. So let's see. Wow, I think that's pretty much everything I wrote down in here. That's pretty good. I did that completely off of memory. To clarify, the wheels on those scooters are bigger than a normal kick scooter. It's not like I never had ridden a scooter before. I'd ridden plenty of those kick scooters in my day. I've ridden an e-scooter twice in my day. One, obviously that one being my most recent, and the one here in town being about a month sooner. So it wasn't anything particularly new. It was different, but the experience was rough. Let's see. Wheels, though, on those are like 8 inches in diameter, and hitting a curb that's around 2 inches high, yeah, you're gonna go flying. It was an interesting thing, though. Like, it felt like I was in slow-mo when I'd flown off. But I did immediately notice after when I was getting up that something was off. And when I went to the station, I was like, yeah, my left arm is screwed up, man. It got jammed hard. I remember having to sit down twice or 3 times in there. 2 of the times that I'd gotten up, I pushed with both hands to get myself to stand up. And oh my goodness, the pain that was in my left arm was not even funny. It was not fun. So yeah, at that point, like after seeing how much my arm was screwed up, I was shaking. Like my hand was actually shaking from it. There's no way I was going to be able to film more videos if I wanted to that day. So I said, screw it. We're going to just go ahead and move on. So we got dinner and came home. On the way home, I realized just how painful it was. I could not really move my hand at all. Like I could do this. I could do motion like this fairly comfortably. But doing anything, like any of this motion that I'm doing here, oh my god, I could not even try. I could not even do it. Yeah, and then that, of course, led to that night where I had to sleep on the couch. I could not lay in my bed because the pressure would put pressure from the bed on my shoulder, moved my shoulder in a way that made more pain. And likewise, I could not put an ice pack on it. The weight sitting on my shoulder, that would make a lot of hectic mess for me too. So that kind of leads me further into the healing point, and I'll talk to you guys for a couple minutes before I get into that. Let's see. Hey, Daniel L., I think I mentioned your name. GameWorks in Denver, Colorado was a Circus City. Interesting. What is better, Kmart or Target? In the modern day, Target. In the day, I don't know. I'd need to visit both again. Modern day, I say Target for sure, because Target is in a way better state than they are. Like, they have stores all over the place. Their stores are pretty full. All this stuff. That's right, I don't ride scooters. Yeah, I feel you, Parker. Any plan to go to Texas in the summer 2022? So, we do need to talk about that more. Texas is not one that I'm urging to get there, but it's one that I do eventually maybe want to visit, because there is a lot of retail down there that would be interesting to film. He's just in... Oh, wait, no, never mind. I think I have a different video that's in New Mexico. But there are a lot of other places down there. I know Wally's done some videos down in Texas, so it is something to look into in the future. I'm not going to say it's not a possibility. It definitely is, but it's probably not going to be the first state I expand to. Yeah, so this is weird, because there's another YouTuber that I was watching before this. I think his name is RK9 Rides. He does all sorts of scooter reviews and stuff, and I came across, like a week or two before, a video where he had crashed in a very similar way. He was on a bike path kind of thing. He had hit a dip, flew over the handlebars, and landed in a very similar way to me. I don't know how his injuries were, but I don't know how fast it was going, but I was probably going around 10 miles an hour. I was slowing down already before I had hit the curb, but wasn't enough to stop. You know, like it came to a halt stop instead of a mild bump when I hit the curb. And that's the whole reason I flew over the handlebars. It was wild. Let's see. So that's where we'll need to talk a little bit about the recuperation, because this took a long time, and it's still not over. It's still not over. Did you get my request for the Denny's in Boulder? Did you request that? Like, I already knew of it, and I may or may not have filmed it. What is that voice I just did? I'm cracking myself up here. Yeah, it was rough. Right now, uploading a video on an abandoned mall. There you go. Fiesta Mall. There you go. Yeah, I know Fiesta Mall is abandoned now. That's crazy. I know there's so many creators in Texas and so many in Ohio. It's so weird. I don't understand why it's Ohio and uh, Arizona where a lot of the retail people are. But yeah, that's cool. It's whatever it is. Different areas are gonna have different people and everything. I mean, so what can you do? Hate slacking packing. I haven't checked the request form. So if you requested it, I'll make sure I give you a credit. And I guess that video will get moved up in the cycle, but we'll see. I need to double check all the shots are good, but it should be good. Thank you for the donation, Slacking Packing, $4.99. I appreciate that, dude. I very much appreciate that. All right, so something else I forgot. So I actually need to scroll back up a little bit. So leading into part 3 is when I needed to heal, right? It's weeks since I am getting better. Like, look how much I'm moving my arm here, but it took a while to get that far. So first week after this was definitely the worst. The first day after, I still had the same extreme pain where I could not really move my arm around like this much. I found out when I got to... So, I was still in extreme pain. I need to explain this first. I ended up going to the hospital just before, grabbing a Starbucks bagel because for some reason that sounded good. But, I had to have someone else take me there and everything because there is no way I was going to be able to drive with this. So I went to the hospital to get scanned. When they scanned me, I found that I was able to do a little bit of moving my hand around, like, rotating it and stuff. I could do minimal things, but again, could not lift at all, really. So I got a scan of my bone, no broken bones. I was like, oh my god, that's a big relief. Like, immediate relief from that. But that wasn't the end of that. So we'll talk about that more here shortly. They couldn't rule out things, though, like rotator cuff or any other soft tissue damage because they said that they don't really have the technological ability to do that. I guess they have a MRI machines in the hospital, but that's a whole freaking process. They gotta have the MRI radiology group that's here in town come out to do it. It's not something for emergency folks, is it? So, that's all they could do at that point. They gave me a sling, which at the moment is put away. Wore it for the most of that day, but after that, I didn't wear it at all. It made things more uncomfortable than it made me benefit. So it was what it was. Now, unfortunately, with my arm being so freaking sore, editing was not an option. So, like, right here, I have my keyboard, and just moving my hand around the keyboard, that would cause pain in my arm. So, like, I could not even edit at that point. I didn't even copy files. Like, I couldn't even unplug, or let's see, where's something good that I can plug in and unplug? Here we go. Here's my phone, right? Unplug it from the charger. It's probably charged anyway now. Like, I couldn't do this. Like, doing this would cause pain in my arm. That's how much it hurt. So I pretty much was forced to just sit. I got a controller, sat this in my lap, and did video games. That's pretty much all I did. I knew I did not want to sit and do absolutely nothing, because that's not going to benefit anyone. However, I also realized I wasn't going to be able to do much more than that. I could reach up and type every now and again, but much more beyond that, it wasn't happening. So yeah, after that, like at that point, I had shared a lot about this on my close friends list on Instagram. My close friends list is mainly made up of people who regularly like my content and stuff, so I give them a little bit extra for that. It's kind of a reward in a sense, but I mean, come on, like, regulars want to know a little more anyway, right? So I did that. Let's see. I think I got an Instagram stories here. Yeah, I got a bunch of stories here that I could actually use to show you guys a little bit more. Video we got. That's photos. What all was this? Yeah, so this was the first day. No, technically first day still. I was talking about how painful it was. If you want to pause the video and read through these, feel free. That's kind of what was going through my mind at the time. Let's see. What do we got here? Just an update before I go to bed. So this was second day. A little better, can get up to there-ish without... So that, okay, I need to redo this. I'm sorry. I'm not fully prepared here. I'm prepared a lot, but not enough still. But then again, I haven't streamed in a while, so I'm still figuring this stuff out again. 2021 went by so fast. It did go by fast. Whoa, hold on. Who else did I see? So let's see. What was I saying? Fuck, I just lost it. So first day, I went into the hospital, no broken bones, everything like that. By the end of the day, I think I was able to do a little bit of movement, maybe this much, but it was still really swollen in my shoulder. I still could not lay in bed without being uncomfortable. It was over a week that I was sitting on the couch sleeping because I could not lay in my bed comfortably. There's a point where I just got sick of it, and the pain wasn't bad enough to make it arguable to lay on the couch, and then I switched. But yeah, that was a fun week. The whole week, that whole first week though, was about same. Couldn't go much higher than this without pain. At that point, I didn't realize any kind of issues with like a limited ability to rotate. But it was painful to go up beyond this point. It was painful to open and close doors. It was painful to do much of anything. I couldn't lift a quarter of my weight when I'm getting into my bed, when I tried to get in my bed. It was a rough week. Let's see, is there anything else I want to look at here? Let me go to studio mode, so that way I can preview this stuff. Maybe. It's not going to let me do it this time. What's in here? A little bit. So this was update stuff. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, a lot of this is stuff that I shared with my close friends. Oh, that's what I was going to say. So a lot of this was stuff that I shared with my close friends, which are regulars for all intents and purposes. Mostly people who regularly like my content. And at that point, that is all I felt like I should do. Because I didn't know how bad this was. I didn't know at that point how long this was going to last. If I was going to... I didn't know anything. So I was like, I don't want to share anything until I know more details. Eventually, I did share more, though. As you guys probably noticed, I wasn't uploading anymore, really. Let's see. Week 2 was getting a little bit better. Let me go back to my list to make sure I'm saying this correctly. So just after a week had passed, I was finally able to move my arm around a bit without pain, but at this point, still lifting a dinner plate was painful. I'd fill up a dinner plate. It would be painful to hold that dinner plate in my left hand. I would need my right hand for sure to avoid dropping it. And by that point, my mental state had gotten so much better before the crash, and then as soon as that happened over the next 24 hours, it was just destroyed. And then by this point in the second week, I was slowly getting a little bit better. So my Spirit Halloween videos, let me switch to this real quick. Are we on week 3? There we go. So by the time I'd gotten to the second week, right? Is that what I said? Yep, second week. So second week I had started working on editing the next Spirit video, finally. This was halfway through November. Yeah, November. Originally, it was planned to get the last 3 of my Spirit videos uploaded after Halloween, but with my injury, that was not going to happen. But I finally got the mental point back enough that I could finish editing this video. This video that you see there was mostly edited already. Just needed finalizing and a little bit of stuff for thumbnail and junk. That was it. Easy enough, so I got that done, uploaded it. And then it's another week or 2 before I could do another Spirit video. I think 2 weeks almost. It was not a fun time. My mental state was still screwed up, for sure. It wasn't all there. It was better than the first week, but it wasn't there yet. 3rd through 4th week, I finally was able to move my arm mostly. I could do this. I could do most of this stuff. Reaching behind me was still painful. A lot. I should have grabbed a bottle of water before I started this. But there were still some motions where it would randomly cause a shock of pain. I was still occasionally having a weird popping thing where it would pop if I moved in a certain way. I know some popping's natural. I've had it pop when I do something like this, but there are other ways I moved it in which it would pop, so I still was having that a little bit. But by the 4th week, it wasn't getting noticeable better to me anymore. So 3rd week and 4th week really were about the same. There were some days where it was better, some days where it was worse. By the 4th week, and there were more worse days than good days, so I was like, okay, I need to go see someone. So I went ahead and looked at scheduling a doctor's appointment and looking at starting to get an MRI. Let's see. And by this point, again, I did another spirit video, I think. Or was it that one? Never mind. It was that one. Where'd my list go? But I still noticed, like I said, some, maybe a tiny, tiny bit of improvement, but so minimal that it was unnoticeable, really. I did notice some improvement between time of setting the appointment and getting to the doctor, but it was still minimal. Let's see. I don't know where that I don't know why I have my notes like this. It's a little weird. It'll work. So 5th week though, the appointment came. I went in and the doctor took a look at it. Said that rotator cuff was possible, but still very unlikely because I'm young. So because I'm so young, it's very hard to tear my rotator cuff. It's very hard. How do I want to say this? Like, I'm 20, right? I'm someone my age. You can't really tear it that easy. It's a lot stronger than it is when you get older. So it's unlikely to be that, but we still can rule out that there wasn't some other soft tissue damage at the time. It was possible at the time that because I'd been more or less babying it, a lot of times holding my arm either directly in front of me, something like this, or like this, that maybe that was part of what was causing my pain. We just didn't know. So we scheduled an MRI. Pain seemed to go away a little more over the next week after the appointment, before the MRI. But by that point, I realized that I could not get my arm any higher than this. This was as high as it was going to go. Most of the pain had gone away. So, like, I could move around mostly without too much pain, but it literally just wouldn't go up farther than this, even though it wasn't painful. I couldn't get it up higher. So it's like, well, man, maybe something's still screwed up. This week I had I had finished editing the last spirit video. I guess there were 2 spirit videos. 3. Hold on. Let me look at my channel. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me look at this again. I'm getting my dates mixed up. So there are 2 spirit videos I did edit. I got myself mixed around there. So there's the H&M one in Westminster, the Nordstrom one in Broomfield, and the North Glen one. So by week 5, I was on the North Glen one that was in the Ulta, and that was during the 5th week. My apologies for the mix-up there. I'm trying to do the best I can here. I haven't done this in a while, so I'm not used to this. I'm also doing this in a different layout. Usually I have a piece of paper I have a good piece of paper for an example. Usually I have a piece of paper like this that I have everything written on, with really basic notes, not a more paragraph-sized thing that's there we go. We're good. That's, on the screen, but that's right. So that was the 5th video. I forgot to mention the H&M in Westminster, but that was also during weeks 2 to 4, somewhere in there. So I finished up the last spirit video. That one was the least edited of the 3, and by this point my mental state had improved quite a bit, so I was able to at least edit it. And it's also a little bit of pressure just getting it done, because I know it's, at this point, it was getting close to December, man. Like, I think when I uploaded it, it was December, so it's like, gotta get it done. So, did that. 6th week, the MRI came. So they pumped my shoulder full of liquids, including a substance that makes this tissue kind of glow when they take the photo. Take photos of your arm, or whatever part, but in my case, my shoulder. They also put some other stuff that kind of just held it in place in a way, like it tenses it up, so that way it's not going to be moving around as much, from my understanding. Put my controller down before I drop it. So they did that, and then they took me into a room where they put me into the donut, right? Big old donut. I think I got a picture in my screen here. Not that. This? Yeah. See, it's kind of a donut thing like that. They slid me in, and I was in there for like 25 minutes or something like that, getting scanned, and then it would still be another week, or a little less than a week before I would know what happened. Experience, let's see, where am I? So, it was an interesting day, I gotta say, when I went for my MRI. So the liquids, because they had pumped me up with all the liquids, my shoulder was as painful as it was on day one, by the time I left the clinic. When I got home, it was still very painful, as about second week in. And by 12 hours later, it was about back to normal. It was wild. It was like re-experiencing the whole dang thing in 12 hours. It was crazy. Uh, Keep in mind, I'm not a medical professional, but that experience did kind of allow me to reconsider how bad things actually were. And I did slowly realize that that probably wasn't rotator cuff and probably not other soft tissue damage. But again, not a medical professional. I didn't see the scans, so I didn't know at this point. After my doctor saw the MRI, I came to find out that I was less lucky than I would have liked, but more lucky than I thought when I scheduled the initial appointment. So when they looked at the scan, it showed minimal to no soft tissue damage whatsoever. Just that my bone was very badly bruised, which was a heavy relief because I really did not want to have to get surgery and suffer through all the Christmas break. Right? Oh, not Christmas break anymore. Christmas holidays now because I'm not in school. But, I didn't want to suffer with that through Christmas. But, if it had to be done, it had to be done. But I did not want to do that. So it ended up just being bruising though, so it didn't need surgery. That was a heavy relief. The doctor estimated that would be up to 6 months before it's healed, and since that time, it's been what was it? 3 weeks, maybe? About 3 weeks. He did suggest that I use it more, that I don't keep it in one position. I actually use it. Don't kill it, but use it. And said that I wouldn't have noticed the improvement in it day to day, but would week to week, which I guess that explains the last 5 weeks, right, or so. It explains why things were so hectic. Why I didn't notice so much improvement day to day, but week to week a little bit improvement. Obviously, it was the bruising. A couple days after the MRI, though, I did feel like I could move my arm slightly higher. I'm not usually in that much pain. At that point, I wasn't in much pain moving around, but some extreme motions still would cause pain. So, like, if I jerked, it might still occasionally cause pain. I still couldn't put on a sweatshirt by myself at that point. Yeah, I know, it sounds whack, but what can you do with a screwed up shoulder? But since that time, I have gotten better. So that was like week 6, right? Yeah, 6th to 7th week in there is when all that was happening. Now we're in like the 8th week, I think now, 9th week, 8th or 9th week. And things are slowly but surely getting better. So I can lift my arm that high right now. I can't go all the way up. I used to be able to go straight up like my right arm. I can't do that yet with my left arm, but it's way higher than it was at the time of my MRI, at the time of my doctor's appointment, and definitely way higher than it was maybe 5 weeks ago. So that is a relief. The downside, I guess, is that it is still a little bit painful sometimes, but at least I can lift my weight when I'm climbing into bed and all that good stuff, so it's slowly but surely getting back to normal. Today actually was in the 50s, so it's like a good day to go for a walk. So I went for a walk. Ended up going to a couple stores and having a decent time for about an hour or so today. It's so nice to get out, and it's kind of made me realize just how much being in the house so much has affected me. I think I went over the course of the time of from now back to October 30th when the crash had happened. I think I'd only gone out like 5 or 6 times maybe. And it wasn't like I walked. I hopped in the car, went to the store for a few minutes, came back home. That was, it wasn't really too much for fun. Getting out of the house, not like that, not very often, definitely toyed with my head. So that was not a good thing. Let me go back into the live chat, though, and I'll chat with you guys again. I missed a lot of chats. See, I can now click on go to channel and I can see, there's the link to the channel. I don't know if Parker has that yet, but like for me on YouTube, I can do that now. So now I can easily get trolls banned in every single chat that needs to be done. Hey, Dakota Wolf, how are you doing? Glad to see you in the chat. Texas Danger says, have you considered getting back into the game streaming? Man, that's a deep question that definitely needs to be in the Q&A. I'll answer that in general for the moment. It's an idea to do a game stream every now and then. I can't lie, the idea exists. I'll say that, but I want to answer that more in depth a little bit later. Yeah, I know why, or... Yeah, there's a lot of abandoned retail in Ohio and Arizona, but then there's a lot of abandoned retail in California and New York. Why aren't there more people in New York and California? Like, there's only, like, 2 people, maybe, that I can think of in New York. And there's maybe 1 person I can think of in California. Like, why aren't there more in those states? Because they also have a lot of abandoned retail. Yeah, I see that, Slack and Packing. I got the channel link, so, yeah. Not really. Still need to buy more stuff. You know, what? I don't know what you mean there, Dakota. I have been to Flatirons Mall. Yeah, Flatirons Mall is nice, man. It's a nice mall. I don't know if I like it or Park Meadows Mall better. They both are freaking nice malls. They're generally pretty packed with people. I don't know which one I like better. Are you ready for Christmas? I'd say so. I need to get the stream ready to go. Yeah, this is live, Dakota. Sorry, I am doing sections. I said this is the start of stream, but I guess you weren't here. That's okay. So I'm doing this in sections where I was talking to the camera, and then I'm reading the chat. Well, let's see. Are you ready for Christmas on Saturday? So yeah, I'm getting there. I just need to get ready for the next stream, mainly. I need to do a little more for getting stuff taken care of for gifts and whatnot, but other than that. Store Dude says, if only Flex Tape could fix the arm pain. Exactly. The Disney store in Broomfield is now Leggings Park store. That's interesting. Do you ever play video games? And if you do, which video games do you play? Great question, Dakota. Definitely one that needs to be in the stream. Obviously, with what I've talked about in the last 25 minutes, maybe, I do still play video games to this day. Do you have a Disney store near you? I do not anymore. The last one, I don't remember if it was in the Flatirons Crossing or the Park Meadows Mall. Both of them had a Disney store. Both stores are gone. I think I was in Flatirons. I think that was my last one. Nowadays, if there's any Disney stores left, I don't have one anymore that I can access. Dakota says, I cut my big toe by a lawnmower when I was 15. Oh, frick. That would hurt. That's worse than me, I think. All the way up. You have that feature. That's good to hear. Slacking Packing. Sears is making a comeback. Sears itself is not making a comeback, as Slacking Packing just said. We got 2 Parkers in here, so I'm going to call Parker Taylor and Slacking Packing from this point, if I haven't been doing that up to this point. So Slacking Packing is right. Sears itself is not making a comeback. It's Sears Outlet that is actually booming right now. It's opening stores all over the place. The one here in Cheyenne, I walked by there today. They're still getting stuff ready, but they're dang close to opening for sure. They've taken down the signs advertising that it's for someone to buy. So I guess someone bought it. It's not going to be much longer before that gets opened. Sears outlets are going to be going on for a long time. They're a franchise, so they can thrive. They're not like the normal Sears, where one person's in charge of all the stores pretty much, right? Like, the ideals, yes, but the control, not so much. It's in control of someone who owns it locally, so it's kind of hard to get rid of a franchise, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to continue with the notes. So, remember our RK9 guy I mentioned that crashed? Well, he wasn't the only one. I have someone else who follows me, who we're kind of friends-ish, who's in Colorado as well. He rode on a scooter, and he also crashed. He crashed because he was on a slightly damp sidewalk, I think, but either way, he still crashed. The idea of scooters, I gotta say, e-scooters are not... Terrible idea, because they are way cheaper than doing something like a taxi or something like that, and they don't need the maintenance that a taxi car would need. However, you're standing, not sitting, standing, which is not really a overall safe way to be riding something for transport. You're standing on that, so it's not very safe to begin with, and then you got tiny wheels, right? 8-inch, the most at 12-inch, right? They're tiny wheels. They're not that big. So if you hit something like a curb, you might be going down, unlike a bike where you could ride up or down a curb pretty easy, as long as you're doing so intentionally, of course. So at the end of the day, I consider e-scooters a high-risk method of transport that would maybe be best in an emergency at best. I find it interesting that they target tourists who aren't necessarily going to be wanting to, knowing how to ride a scooter is what I should say. I did notice for Lime specifically, they had a thing where you could set up a practice thing, but it's like 1 mile an hour. It's like, screw this. I did faster than that on the scooters here in town. Like I'm no scooter noob. I've seen some videos of noob scooter riders, but e-scooter, however, I am a tiny bit more of a noob. But still, I'm not that big of a noob. I don't think I would foresee myself going on a skate park with one, but riding one around town, not too big of a deal, except for all the bumps in the road and shit. So definitely a high risk thing that was not worth it. Also, I was kind of rushing things, wasn't I? Because taking a scooter means I can go 10 to 15 miles an hour versus maybe 3 miles an hour walking, or 5 miles an hour if I run a little bit here and there. It's way quicker to hop on a scooter and ride to the next place than to walk, but it's not really worth the risk, is it? You have the risk of getting hit by a car if they don't see you, and you're going faster, so it might not be as likely that they see you until it's too late. So you're definitely gotta watch out for that, and that's what I was doing when I was on that main road. I had a need to keep looking behind me when I got in that bike lane. So I was looking behind me. Okay, nothing there. Okay, what's in front of me? Rocks. Okay, I need to go this way, this way. There's enough rocks and stuff in the road that I hit a couple of the little nicks in the concrete and a couple of the rocks in the road. It's unavoidable, and I'm watching behind it. Yeah, I was stressed out. Like re-envisioning that, it was stressful. Oh man. Yeah, so it's a crazy period that I'd never want to do again. I learned my lesson, and I'm not going to be doing that ever again, and I need to take that MRI thing off the screen, because we're not talking about MRIs now, are we? So I learned my lesson the hard way with that. So I'm never going to do... I definitely don't think I'm ever going to do any scooter again. Kick scooter, maybe, but it's not going to become my daily transportation, for sure. Bike is still decent. It's better than an e-scooter, because you have bigger wheels, a little bit better visibility since they're bigger. You can have a tail light around the back of the bike instead of at the bottom at your feet. You're sitting, like you can stand, but you're sitting most of the time when you're riding a bike. It's just a better idea. Car is definitely going to be arguably better in some degree, although as the car crash I mentioned earlier in this stream that caused that death, it's still not perfect, but at least you have a chance of surviving if you get into a nasty car crash, right? But you still might be screwed up. Let's see, let me scroll up just a little. I filmed an open Sears outlet at a dead mall. There you go, slacking packing. Joshua says, do you have your Christmas tree at your house? So yeah, there is a Christmas tree in my house set up. I don't know if I'll be able to set up the Christmas tree thing that I had back here last year. Last year I was able to do it. I don't know if I'll be able to this year or not. We'll try. I'm going to see about moving these boards further back so that way I can, but at the moment I don't have that one set up yet. You are let's see, let me scroll up. What happened? Joshua says, having ham for Christmas on Saturday. We'll be having ham and turkey. Sears Outlet is a now American Freight. That is true. Natalie asks, how older am I? Well, I kind of mentioned it earlier. I don't publicize this one too much. It's one I like keep a little more personal. But 20. People keep wanting me, keep asking me it, so I guess it's just gonna have to come out. That's all right. I'll have to put it into the Christmas stream. Store Dude says Sears hometown is what he's talking about. Yeah, exactly. Sears hometown. Hold on. Slacking Packing, did you film outlet or hometown? There is a big difference. I don't remember. I think I remember the video, but I don't remember. It's been a hot minute. I think I do, if I'm thinking of the right video. Anyway, Parker says, we'll join the stream on my iPad. There you go. Okay, I think I'm caught up on chat now, so I guess that leads me to the next part that I need to talk about, and there's the chat. I'm sorry I didn't switch to the speak to chat screen. I forgot to. So now there you go. There's the live chat on the screen and all the messages I read. Alright, so we need to talk a little bit about upcoming content for sure. Let's see. Part 4, there we go. So first we'll talk about live streams. So I do have a Christmas stream right there, sorry. We got the Christmas stream right here that we will be doing on, I don't know which day yet. As long as my shirts arrive and things are getting done, I should be able to do it on the 24th, which is technically my official anniversary because that's when I started my gaming channel, although when I started retail is a totally different date. If it doesn't, if things aren't there yet, then it will be on the 25th or 26th. It'll be around there. I don't know which day yet. It just depends on how things go. I will let you guys know, though. I always do. Always put out a notification many hours before it starts, and I usually put out a notification on my Instagram story a whole day before, so you'll be able to know soon enough. So that'll be good. So right now, for the moment, besides the stream that we're doing, this is the only stream I have planned. So I will be giving away 2 shirts. One of them will be a Optopolis, the Metropolis Plaza sign shirt, and one of them will be a shirt that has Optopolis on it, but also a whole bunch of cities that I've gone to on the back. It'll be cool. It's a cool-ass tour shirt. I'm very hyped about that. That's about all I'm going to say at this point. I'll let you guys know a little bit more about it when we do the actual stream. Whichever day ends up being, I'll probably start at the same time as today's stream. So today we start at 2:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So you'll have to convert that to your time zone, and keep in mind that if you're in a state that doesn't follow daylight savings and all that, you'll need to correct for that as well. I will do a follow-up stream, though, for that Christmas stream around the first couple weeks or so of the next year, because obviously I need to announce the giveaway winners, right? I will be doing a Q&A, though. I mentioned this at the start of the stream. I want to do a Q&A for it, so if you're in the live chat, you can ask them there. If you're watching this on the replay, you can put them in the comments. You can send them my way at theoptopolis@gmail.com. You can do it pretty much any way you want. I'll do a community post as well, where you could comment them as well. Questions that you have for me. It can be anything for retail, for myself, a mixture of those, the channel, anything you want. Ask it. There's a chance I might include it in the Q&A. It's not the only thing I will be doing for Christmas. Obviously, I'm doing the giveaway. I got other little tidbits that I'm going to be putting in there. I'm going to have it sectioned out kind of like this, but it won't be all talking like this one was. It'll be more fun than this. I'll have some Christmas music going. It'll be sweet. I'm looking forward to it. As I do want to ensure my arm can heal, I will not be doing any more walking streams for a while. I do eventually plan to make a comeback, but for the moment, they're postponed indefinitely. Just because I don't want to end up carrying my gimbal and causing the pain to come back and get worse. That's not a good thing, is it? I don't want to be stuck in that. And plus, at the moment, lifting some weight can still cause pain. Holding in one position out in front of me can cause pain. You know, it's not there yet. It's going to take some months to get there. But I do hope it will improve. So far, it has been improving overall. So hopefully in the next 6 months or so, it's completely healed. I do, of course, hope this is all healed up by spring or summer next year. definitely hope so that way I can resume by then. But again, time will tell, so I don't know yet. As for driving streams, I was finding that I was able to drive reasonably. Still kind of painful, so I don't know exactly when the driving stream will come. Driving streams are not going to be something I do a lot of immediately, just because there's the city's too small for doing it all the time. It just is. Like I can drive from one side of town to the other side in 15-20 minutes. So, you know, there's not much. It's a smaller city, so it's not really worth doing a driving stream all the time, but I wouldn't mind doing an occasional one. And I do want to get into that for sure. I might be able to do one sometime the first couple weeks or so, maybe 3 weeks into the next year. We'll see. It depends on how my arm does. Plus, I think I might have a personal thing to take care of, so we'll see. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I just don't know yet. At least for this, I know what was wrong, but you know, I don't know much more beyond that for how things are going to go. As for upcoming videos, as a result of being injured, I obviously wasn't able to edit as much until more recently. It took until when I posted something on Facebook to actually be able to get myself to go back and go, okay, let's get some stuff done. At that point, I was able to start doing stuff pretty much on the daily, but I was still struggling. Now I've been grinding nonstop to get the streams ready to go. I gotta edit the first video of next year, quite a bit. Depending on my improvement in my arm, I should, and I think it will be better enough by then, I should be able to film a few more videos in January, so we'll be able to get through the rest of the colder months without too much issue. On January 1st, that will be the first video I upload next year. That's going to be the video that won the recent poll. Do I have the screenshot? Nope. I have this, though. So you can see right there in the screen that that's what's going to be coming. It's an abandoned Albertsons. It's the one that was requested on the polls that I did on my social medias. And that will come on January 1st. After that, I'm going to try and upload weekly, like I usually would. So, should be back to normal after that point. I will start uploading requested videos. I think I might do back and forth. So I might do a requested video one week, and then a video that wasn't requested, but I filmed anyway. A requested video and back and forth till I get them all uploaded. Obviously, I got a chunk of requested videos, so that'll be good. We did get a decent amount of those done, but, you know, is what it is. And then we do need to talk about 2K Special. Let me look at chat for a second just before I do that. I use a scooter for my walks slow. Do you use a kick scooter, though, Snorted, or do you use an e-scooter? Because there's a bit of a difference. E-scooter, you got the power, right? Normal kick scooter, you got your shoe going on the ground. Have you ever been to an abandoned store and someone upped you and yelled at you because it's private property? That's a good question, and I'm going to include that in the Christmas stream. I don't think I really have. Not abandoned, anyway. Technically abandoned, maybe, but not abandoned. Technically abandoned in that the one place I technically had it happen, it was in a borderline area, to say the least. So, yeah. I didn't know you could do an insert ad in the live streams. That's cool. You can do a create video highlight. Wow. I'm seeing the stream dashboard here, and I never even noticed that this were a thing. Natalie said, okay, I answered that. Parker says, I'm excited for Christmas. Parker also says, do a driving stream in Longmont. Maybe one day that will come, but for the moment, that's not going to be able to be possible. It just isn't. In my current situation, the only car I am driving is a car that's worn out and not a good idea to take on the interstate whatsoever, even if I'm going on the interstate here in town. I don't like doing that with this vehicle. It's old, it's worn out, it's a narrower car than the average, so it's not good for a lot high speed use, and that includes going on the interstate. Brandon says, scooter, I use my feet. Well, to be fair, Normally I would use my feet, but with a scooter, I can go quicker than I can walking on my feet. So it makes more sense to do that, except that there's more risk involved with crashing and falling. I do gotta say though, I was bundled up. So I had a jacket on that has like a double layer right here of material over this elbow and this elbow. At the time I was in my long pants. I was in a short sleeve shirt, but then I also had my vest on over this. My running vest that contains all my filming junk. So when I had landed, I didn't get beat up much. The worst I got beat up was a little cut on my hand right here that you might still be able to see a little bit. Now let me go to speak to chat so that way you guys can see. So the worst I got was a little scuff up right here on my hand, and that was it, and it's pretty much healed. I've gotten scuffed up way worse from falling, but I've never had a fall where I jammed myself so bad I couldn't move my arm. So that was new for me. Hiccups. I like your live streams on your phone and your computer. I appreciate it, Joshua. Yeah, we'll see about getting this thing here moved back a little bit farther for the next stream. Make it easier. That way I got a little more room. I can set my tree back here. It'll be good. I had Tesla so I can auto drive. To be fair though, I've seen so many times where a Tesla has crashed on its auto drive feature. So it's actually not much better than using an easy. Well, I guess maybe a little bit, because if you crash in that, you're probably not going to be dead. You could be, but you're less likely of dying than if you're on a scooter, aren't you? You're not exposed to the elements easily. That's the one thing where I don't know if a scooter is per se worse than a car, because with a scooter you can avoid things a lot easier, right? Or bike even. You can just go around them, you know? Like, it's easy enough. With a car, you can't really do that, and you can't even see if you're going to hit something in some cases. Not easily, at least. So, yeah. In a way, there's good and bad of both. At the end of the day, if I were to choose between scooter or bike, I'd go bike. But bike or car, I don't know. Both are good. They have their uses. There needs to be there needs to be better infrastructure for bikes and stuff. There really does. There needs to be more paths that are separated from traffic and well maintained, so that way it's safer for everyone to use it. And less gas gets put into the environment. More people are encouraged to bike instead of cars. It's obviously possible. A lot of places in the world have done this, where nowadays they're more of a bike-based place than a car-based place, just because it's easier, it's more convenient, but US still far away from getting that point. Just get a horse. Horse could even be bad though, because a horse might lose its mind. It's living. It's like us. It's not perfect. It could lose its mind and go. And you're gonna fall back, land on your back, break an arm or a neck. Like, Jesus, I saw that happen at the rodeo this year here in Cheyenne. Someone had gotten knocked off pretty hard. He had a donkey. Oh, golly. Alright, so let's talk about videos though real quick, right? Or what was the next thing? Oh, 2K Special. Sorry. So 2K Special is the other thing we really need to talk about. So obviously, I'm getting there. We're at 1.76 thousand subs, right? Let me go over here. That's not my live count. We're coming up on 2K as that picture shows though. And if I do this, you can see that we're at 1.76 thousand subscribers right now at the time of this video. 76,000, excuse me, if I said 9. Anyway, we're getting close to 2K, and I do have intent of expanding to a new state when I hit 2K. Now, which state this will be? Well, I don't truly know, honestly. I did a poll a few months back that showed that most people wanted Utah. Montana was at a close second between 3 different states I had asked if people would be interested in. It's very conflicting what I should do, honestly. Utah is cheaper. Everything's more interconnected to the point where I could probably walk to the airport, whereas Montana, I probably would need an Uber or taxi. You know, there's a lot of things about Utah that I like better for this, but then Montana, the thing is, Utah, I don't have any requests for it. People have requested videos in Montana, not Utah. So it's like, I guess Montana makes more sense, but then that's harder and going to be more expensive. There's no way I could go there under $1,000. Another possibility is that if my arm isn't sufficiently healed by the time I hit 2K, it could mean that I end up going to South Dakota, but there's not as much there, so it's not as good, but it would get the job done if I had to. I don't know yet. South Dakota has the possibility of driving because the nearest city from here in Cheyenne in South Dakota is about the same as going to Casper. It's about the same distance, maybe just a hair more. So it's more doable to do that if I needed to have someone come with me, but we'll see. I don't know. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. It just depends on how my arm gets better, and also depends on how things happen with getting the funds to do this. I have been gaining money off of YouTube, Patreon, Shutterstock. Obviously, you know YouTube because I have ads, but also Shutterstock and Patreon over the last few months. The money that I've gotten has pretty much covered all the cost of the stuff that I pay for this channel. So I have music that I pay for, and I have a program that helps me make my videos better. Both of those are a thing that are a subscription-based thing, so it's only made up for that at best. There's still other costs that need to be made up. So it's going to depend on me finding other ways to get to that point. I have no idea how that will go. I have ideas that are outside my channel that I could do. It's just I don't know how that's going to go. I don't know how soon it's going to come. Again, it's another thing where it's just going to be time will tell. Considering, so it will be, like I said, Utah, cheaper. I could probably go there 800. Montana, it's going to be over 1,000 easy. And that's all not including meals that I would probably have to pay for. So considering that, and the fact that I'm not gaining lots of money from my YouTube channel yet, obviously, or any other part yet that I have set up, I obviously don't technically have enough to cover the 2K trip. I technically could, but I'm not going to reach into that emergency fund in case hell breaks loose, you know? Like, we're in a world that depends on money. If you don't have money, then you're going to be living in the street, aren't you? An injury and whatever else in your hand that's broken. Yeah, not a fun thing. So I have a little bit of fun as a safety net, right? I don't want to reach into that safety net if I don't absolutely have to. So I'll have to find a way of getting to the point of paying that. Now, if I don't, I need a backup thing, right? So there's things that you guys can do that can help me get there easier as well. So the first one is easiest by far, and it's free. It's watch my content with ads. Like, comment, share videos with others. And this is definitely something that's going to be for anyone who's on a tighter budget. And this is the easiest thing that anyone can do. Obviously, if you're watching, you're supporting the channel, aren't you? The next best thing is supporting me monetarily, which I do want to be clear, that is not required by any means. So do not feel pressure to do it. But if you would like to see me go to places easier and sooner, that would help. There's a lot of ways you can do it. So the easiest way is donating during live streams like this one that I'm doing now. There is a thing on the live chat. Have you ever seen a Power Rad Runner before? Roadrunner? I don't know what that means. Question mark. Anyway, there's a button on the chat that you can use to donate, usually. I don't know if it's on this one. Is it not showing? Oh, it is. I got rickrolled. So you can donate on the stream like this, like Slacking Packing did earlier in the stream. Thanks again for that donation. That's going to be a pretty simple way of doing it. If you want to, there are other things you can do, though. You can join my Patreon, where I share behind the scenes and other secret details there on a regular basis that the public does not get. I often will pecker a little bit more on the smaller details that aren't really important to the video, but they are part of the story nonetheless, and they deserve to be somewhere. So that's a way you can do it. Links to that are in description, I think, and definitely on my About page. You can buy photos from Retail Photographer on Shutterstock. So for those of you that don't know, I do have an account called The Retail Photographer where I've been uploading my photos for editorial use. That way they're not just sitting on my drive doing nothing. They can at least benefit someone else, since they're not really benefiting me at a certain point. So if you're a journalist or a documentary filmmaker or something like that, you can definitely use them. There's obviously other cases of editorial usage that you could use those. And the other way that you can do it right now is buy a t-shirt from my merch store that I launched earlier this year. Right now, I think there's still 2 shirts in the store that haven't expired. It's to a point where I need to bring them back. So you could buy those 2. The shirts that I give away, I'll probably be putting them in there as well for a while. So that's another thing that you could do. So if you wait till a Christmas stream, you'll see those. This is a great way to get something very physically tangible to you in exchange for also supporting the channel. Ultimately, I should clarify that all my funds that I get from YouTube for now are strictly for YouTube. That means trips, that means gear, and replenishing for the gear that I've gotten so far. So that's where we're at. Eventually, will it become more where I get a little bit, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know yet. But right now, that's where I want it to be. Where all the money is strictly for YouTube. Strictly for YouTube and other things retail-wise, to make sure that retail gets documented so it would only be used for YouTube purposes. So, that's kind of where we're at on that. Was there another comment? I could have sworn there was another comment, but maybe not. Oh, there was. It didn't appear in the... Wow, that's weird. Is it because I have Top Chat on here? Oh, wow, I missed a bunch of chats, actually. So, what? Wow, okay. Wally and Caleb have been doing lots of Christmas 2021 videos on his channel. Yes, they have. I actually had a request to do some Christmas stuff on my channel. Fortunately, didn't get that far. Welcome back, Daniel L. Parker says, planning on going to Florida. That's interesting. That'd be a fun trip. Florida's a warm place. Oh, it's an e-bike that's 28 miles per hour. Okay, gotcha. I'd only heard of the arrows up to this point. Parker says, I hate ads. Well, get an ad blocker then. I know ads aren't the most ideal, but literally it's the only cost is time. It's not really a monetary thing that you lose by watching an ad. They are annoying, though. I do agree. You gotta do what you gotta do. I do want the channel to be able to thrive. Absolutely. And that's going to be part of this storyline for it. I don't think man, that's another topic. I don't want to go into it right now. No, I'll think about it. It's a topic that I'm not going to talk about right now, though. A different topic that kind of came up in my head. Anyway, sorry about that. Dull moment. Alright, so as I mentioned, though, at the moment, there are still a load of unknowns. Again, what happens in the next few weeks and months will likely determine how everything is going to go. In the worst case, I guess we won't expand to a new state. In the absolute worst case, but I am going to try. I got some ideas, though. Just need to put forth on them. I was actually going to go on the journey of trying to take care of some of those ideas, but that happened. My shoulder happened. So, yeah, did not do that. That was not a fun time. I don't ever want to do that again. That's why I say I don't foresee myself ever getting on an e-scooter again, and I'm not in any desperate need to get back on a kick scooter even, just because of the risk of something like that happening again. I don't need that. Like, I got pretty damn lucky, because I really thought I was going to need surgery. I didn't, and that's a hell of a thank God. But I definitely don't want to put myself in a position where I do need surgery, so yeah. I'm not doing that again. I'll just walk it next time. I learned my lesson the hard way. As a reminder, though, please give me your best retail questions. If you comment them live, I'll look through the live chat after I end the stream. and make sure I get them noted down. If you ask them in the comments, I'll look through them and get them sorted for the Christmas stream. I'll get as many as I can in there that work for the channel and stuff. Makes sense, I guess. As long as I can understand what they're going for, I guess I will do it. I don't know. I'm rambling now. But they will be in the Christmas stream. Again, giveaway. We'll be doing that in the Christmas stream. And we'll go from there for other content. Side note, I do ask that you don't make up random crap. Ask me things that you sincerely want to know. But, you know, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. So I'm going to leave it at that. I do appreciate everyone who stopped in here. Let's go through the live chat and see if I missed anyone. I'm not going to be able to scroll all the way up in the chat, am I? Let me see. Close that. Let me see how far I can scroll up. Had a lot of people in here. I know Standby News was in here. Parker Taylor, Dalmatian, Brian, Real RTOT, GRM, Adventures, Texas Danger, Joshua Jerami. Who else was in here? Funko Sean, Parker Taylor, Natalie Qualina, if I'm probably butchering that name again. VW Oklahoma, Daniel L. Who else was in here? Slacking Packing. Quite a lot of people in here today. So I do appreciate everyone who did stop in here today. We'll be getting back into it. Next stream, I don't trust scooters at all anymore. And I wouldn't blame any of you who are that way as well. I plan on going to... Where did I read that part? What is your favorite store? That's a good question that definitely needs to be in the Christmas stream. There's a lot of stores that I like. I like pretty much any store other than Walmart. I'll say that for now. I'll expand on it more in the Christmas stream. What is your favorite Circuit City location? Interesting one. Macy's. Okay, gotcha, Daniel L. For me, I ride on a bike and kind of go on a scooter. Okay. Hey, Christian Gonzalez, that's all right. We're kind of at the end here, so the stream will be you'll have to watch the replay. But glad you could make it into the live chat. Excuse me. Whoa. Keep hitting my microphone today. That's the second time I almost knocked it over. Yep, I appreciate everyone who did stop in here. Definitely not going to be doing scooter, bike, maybe. I gotta let my arm heal more. I think I want to let my arm heal more before I try doing a bike again. But we'll see. It's been wow, that's crazy. How long have we been live, just out of curiosity? Hour and 30 minutes. Wow. That tells you how much there was to cover. There was a lot that happened. I might make a smaller condensed video of this where I kind of cut out some of the nitty gritty. I might. I'll do something. What is your favorite fast food, says Dakota Wolf. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream before it goes on too much longer, so if you didn't get the chance to put into the live chat, you can always comment it down below in the comments. Again, I will be putting a community post up over the next couple days or so that you can comment your questions as well. So if you have other questions that come up, feel free to ask them. I really don't care how many questions anyone asks. Like, I'm going to answer as many as I possibly can. If I don't see you again, hopefully I see you in the Christmas stream, but if I don't, Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, of course, because the New Year's coming up. But I should, hopefully, see you in the next stream. It will be better this year, by the way, the giveaway. I'm going to do a little bit different this year, just because I know the comment thing didn't work very well last year, but that's okay. We'll get there. Yeah. I don't know when the next stream will be, aside from the Christmas stream and the follow-up stream. And next video, again, January 1st. I'll see you guys. I think I'll end it there. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Goodbye now.